Oh, I think I've gotten myself into a bit of a mess with this rope. So I bought some hedging plants. They've not arrived yet, and I want to plan out exactly where I want to put them. I know kind of roughly where I want them to go, but I don't know the length of the strip I'm going to put them on, basically. So I need to measure that out, because then I want to go back inside and plan which bushes are going to go where in the row, because I got them predominantly for the wildlife, so it should provide loads of flowers in the spring and the summer for all the pollinators, and then late summer, autumn, there should be, and hopefully through the winter as well, there should be plenty of fruits on there for the birds and other creatures to enjoy. But for myself, I want it to still look beautiful, so I want there to be, as much as I possibly can, seasonal interest. So I don't want, for example, all the crab apples all together, and all the beech all together and stuff. I want to think about, okay, if I've got lovely flowers here, I'll have a strip of maybe green and then some more flowers there in spring, and you know what I mean. So I've got 2 sticks on either end of this rope, and I'm going to measure all the way along where I want to put the hedging. But before I do that, I have a little bit of a conundrum. So you can see behind me here, all of these trees ahead. There are basically trees, big trees like this, all the way along this field. And I didn't realise how much you can see through them, because I was driving along there the other day, because there's just behind these trees there's a road, and then there's a hedge that is the boundary for my neighbour's fields, one of my neighbour's fields. And I didn't realise until I drove past that you can see into my field. So I don't really like that. And I wanted to put hedging in anyway for the wildlife, because I know that trees are great, but it's hedgerows that, and tall hedgerows, if you can let them grow taller and wider, that really do benefit the wildlife. But I also want it to give me a little bit of privacy when I'm in this field, because this is going to be my main growing field. I'll spend a lot of time in here. And I don't know, I just like to have privacy, And I know it's going to be years before I actually have that, because it's going to take a long time for the hedges to grow up. But if I don't do it now, then, it'll never happen, in terms of you have to start somewhere, right? Oh my God, I'm waffling today, aren't I? Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to flick you around so we're looking down that way, so you can see what I mean about having a conundrum with what to do. Okay, so obviously this is my boundary, and there's all tall trees along the whole length of it. But what I wanted to do was come in further, not right under this because it's leaning all the way over here, but this side, and then after that bit, I want to just put the hedging along here. Now, what concerns me is that it's still going to be too close for the trees, so it'll be a good 5 or 6 meters away, maybe even more than that. I'm not good at eyeballing. Hang on, let me come back round. Yeah, I'm not very good at eyeballing it, but it's a good few meters. But my concern is that they might not grow that well. So basically, the trees are to the side of me, the hedges to the side of me. The sun comes up over there and it comes round to here. So I think they'll, apart from in the evening when they might be behind these trees, the hedges will have sun for most of the day. But I just don't know how well they'll do here. Ideally, what I'd like to be able to have the line of trees and then the line of hedge, and be able to walk between them, because it's really lovely walking, but it's just boring if you're just constantly walking through a field. And I know they're not always going to be just plain fields, because I'm going to be doing lots of planting and growing. But part of what I want to do is to create interest for when I'm walking. And how lovely would it be to just walk down a hedge on one side and trees on one side, and I don't know, I'd really enjoy it. So yeah, I don't, if anyone has any advice, it would be really good if you've got any experience with planting hedges anywhere near trees. How far away do they have to be? because I am just having a bit of a pickle. So anyway, I'm going to measure it now. Okay, before I actually start measuring, perfect example here. This is the tree line, and the guy who used to own this place planted some trees here. So there's young trees. Can you see how it's leaning that way? These ones even more prominently, you know, they're growing that way. So that's what worries me about the hedging. Look at this. So I don't know. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Look at those vicious thorns. But that's not what I wanted to show you. So if you look at that, that's quite a healthy, I don't know what it is, maybe it's blackthorn. And then, oopsie, I'm rocking the camera. And then over there, there's another one. So there's this, and then there's another one over there. And that is just a few, like, I don't know, maybe 2 meters away from the tree line. And it seems to be growing okay. Maybe I'm making too much of this. I don't know. I mean, obviously on not so much on this one, because this seems to be doing very well. I'll have to see if this is blackthorn, whether blackthorn grows well in shade, because if it does, that could explain why it's growing nicely straight. But the one behind it is leaning that way, but you know, it is much closer than what I'm proposing to plant it. But still, it's okay. You know, I don't want the hedges to be that high, because it's gone quite high. I only want them to be about, I don't know, maybe 2 meters high, so maybe it's all right anyway. Okay, if I pop this over here, yeah, hairish. Oh God, does everyone have this much trouble with rope? Somewhere between 53 and 55 meters. Right, I'm going to gather up my string. Can you still see me? I'm going to gather up my string and then head back to the house and count how many plants I actually ordered to see if they're all going to fit here. Okay, so you can see in this sheet I've popped all of the hedging plants that I've bought. So in total I got 56 plants for the hedging, plus 12 elder and 16 dogwood. And those can also be used as hedging, but I'm not sure whether I'm going to use them or whether I'll use them all. So we'll see how it goes. So if I have a quick flick through, now I do apologise if this is boring to a lot of you. I make these videos mainly for my friend Yolon, who I know will find it interesting to see what I'm planting. So I hope you do too. Right, so I got 6 crabapple, which have got beautiful flowers in the spring and then lovely fruits in the autumn. Then I got green beech, and I like this one because it keeps its, once the leaves go dry and look dead in the winter, it keeps them on, so it's a good bit of privacy. All of these should be good for wildlife. I've got hazel as well. I got 6 of these. I got 6 field maple, mainly because I wanted the beautiful colour, if I'm honest. But it does have wildlife benefits as well. I think something to do with the seeds or the flowers. Let's have a quick look. The small yellow-green flowers aren't visible, but they are great for bees, yeah. And then I got 6 cherry plum. So again, that has really beautiful flowers right in the beginning of spring. And then it has these lovely fruits, which are actually edible for humans, but, you know, mostly for the birds and others. And then I got hornbeam, and again, this keeps its leaves on during the winter once they kind of look like they're dead. So it'll provide privacy then. And then I got spindleberry. So you have these lovely, look at these flowers or berries or whatever they are, they're stunning. And apparently they are eaten by wildlife, but they will stay on during winter as well. So you can see here where you've got a bit of snow and frost or whatever, you've still got them there. So presumably they will provide food throughout winter for as long as they last. I mean, until they're all eaten. And then we've got Copper Beech. This is really beautiful. So that's how it will look in the summer, and this potentially is how it looks in autumn, and then moving into winter again it would keep its leaves. And then I got Forsythia. I don't know if it's Forsythia or Forsythia, but anyway, this is lovely because it has yellow flowers on bare stems in the spring, which is great. Just a plain green hedge in summer. And then, okay, so I should also point out that by the time I got over here, I started buying them in quantities of 3 rather than 6, because I ordered these from 2 different companies. And then once I got to the second company, I was just ordering 3s, because by this time my husband had sort of given me a reality check on the fact that I was spending too much. Because since we bought this place, we are a little bit skint, so there's not a lot of money for stuff like this. So anyway, back to point. Then I've got these barberries, a few different ones. I think they're berberis. Anyway, lovely flowers in spring, and then you've got these berries for the autumn and winter. And again, here these are different colour ones. I must admit I do prefer the purple ones, but these are probably more visible to birds, aren't they, the red ones? Then Guelder Rose. So I don't think birds eat the berries from what I've read. They don't particularly like them, but the flowers are going to be good for pollinators, aren't they? And plus these are actually, I use these for making cramp bark tincture, which is a good medicinal thing. It helps with pain. I particularly want it for period pain. So then I got 12 elder. Now I might have gone a little bit mad on these, but I really love elderflower syrup in the summer to have a sort of elderflower cordial, and then the berries in the autumn, making elderberry syrup. Oh my god, it's absolutely amazing for colds and flus and helping the immune system and whatnot during the the sickly fluey months. But it's just delicious. It is the most delicious thing. And then the dogwoods. So I got orange, red and yellow dogwoods. So I got 6 of the dogwoods of the orange and the red, and I got 4 of the yellow. This was again before Vijay said to me, hang on a minute. And then I got Rosa rugosa. I haven't got the pictures on them. I put the pictures on because I wanted to be able to see what they look like in the different seasons, so that I can plan what I want next to each other. Because my sort of overall plan is to plant them in groups of 3. So 3 of one, then 3 of another, then 3 of another. So obviously the ones where I've bought 6, it would be 3 of the cherry plum, for example, and then I might do 3 hornbeam, and then I might do 3 crabapple and 3 something else, and then the cherry plum would come later down in the row. And is this giving you, like, I don't know, what's that when something just whizzes past you really quick and makes you feel a bit sick? Sorry, I don't mean it to do that. I just wanted to get back down here. So yeah, I ordered 6 Rosa rugosa in different colours, and that was mainly, obviously, the roses are beautiful, but the rose hips on the Rosa rugosa are absolutely massive. So if you want to make things like rose hip syrup or anything like that, then you're collecting less rose hips, and they're beautiful, these massive things. And then I got lots of individual things. So this barberry, the purple one, I only got 1. So this, I did get 6 of these, but I'm going to plant these as a separate hedge somewhere else because they're quite slow growing, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're evergreen. But look, they've got these beautiful fragrant flowers. And then other things. I mean, I won't go through all of these things that I've got now. I'll probably do them in a different video. But yeah, that's all the hedging. So yeah, I'm looking forward to when they arrive. I apologise actually. I know it's the lighting's not great in here, but it's a bit later in the day now. Yeah, I'm looking forward to when they arrive, but I feel a bit nervous about having to do all that work and plant them out because it's what, around 80 hedging plants, but then there's all the other ones that I bought. So there's 80 that I bought to actually be a hedge, but then there are all the other ones which I bought them as individuals so that they're small trees or shrubs. So even though they were from the hedging plant section, they can be left to grow into small shrubs or trees, large shrubs or small trees rather. And the problem that I have is not so much, okay, the work involved in planting them, it's deciding where to put them. Because I don't know, it's just once you plant a tree, it's planted, you know what I mean? You don't really want to be moving it. And I'm just worried that I'll choose the wrong place. There's so many things to think about. You want to think about, okay, in 10 years' time, how big is that tree going to be? Is it going to be blocking my view? So I might plant a tree in this side of the field, but then when I'm on that side of the field, it will block the view that I've been enjoying. You know, all these sorts of things. And it's also like, okay, but in the future, when I do things like, for example, put up a roundhouse for my women's circles, where is that going to go? Is the tree going to be in the wrong place? Or, you know, things like that. There's just there's a lot to think about, and with my addled brain these days, the decision making is just, it feels like a lot of pressure, you know. Also, when I was out there and doing the measuring up, I was thinking, oh God, I'm going to have too many hedging plants. But no, that's not true. I don't know what was going on in my head there. I thought I'd have double than what I need, but it's not the case. So if I've got about between 60 and 80 plants, I need 2 per meter. And if I've got 55 meters, then I want what, 110 plants. So it's not going to be enough. I know with hedging, they do say they say anywhere actually between 3 and 7 or 5 and 7 plants per meter. The most common is 33 centimeters apart, but I'm going to give them 50 centimeters because I want them to have a little bit more room. Which I know will mean that it might take longer to get a bit of privacy. It might not be as dense, but I think that if the hedges have a little bit more floor space each, that will then allow them to gain more nutrients, have more space for their roots, so that their fruits and their flowers and all the other good stuff that the birds and wildlife are going to enjoy actually has space to develop. You know, you can imagine if you've got 17 plants in a small space, that's not a lot of nutrients amongst them, whereas if you spread them out a lot, they have more nutrients, they have more space to breathe and grow, and then they're just providing more, aren't they? So anyway, enough of me rambling. I hope you found that interesting. I'm really excited. You know, it's been a long time. It's been 2 years since I've been able to grow, because I had to sort of step away from the allotment 2 years ago when we were doing all these moves, first to the little house in South Wales and here to our permanent home in West Wales. And that excitement, that only plant people, only gardeners will know what I mean when I say, you know, that pure, utter, sheer joy that you get from choosing things, from planting things, from imagining what you're going to do once you're collecting fruit or enjoying beauty, or, you know, I don't know, it's just amazing. I bought not a whole ton, I bought 10 fruit trees with this order as well. So I bought some apples, some cherries, a green gauge, and some pears. And I'm just so excited. It's I don't know how to tell you. I honestly don't know how to tell you how this makes me feel. You know, to work towards something for so long, when my heart feels like it's soaring at the moment. Anyway, I'll catch you again next time.